Do you get the sense the Warriors, okay, Kerr used the foundational six, which unfortunately, no, it does include Looney. So you got Looney, Draymond, Wiggins, Steph, Clay, Poole.
Yeah.
Do you believe that the Warriors will have all six of those guys on the roster next year?
Like
Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney, Poole. Do you believe all six of those players will be on the Golden State Warriors next year?
I think there's a better chance than not. Like I can't say.
Okay, so then you don't think a big move's coming this summer? I would say any trade of one of the top six players is a big move. Let's just say that. I think the Warriors are going to then. A lot of people are saying it feels like the Warriors are going to do something big. Do you feel that way?
Based off of what Joe Lacob has said, yeah. I think he wants to make a big move. What I question is their ability to, just be in the flexibility they have to do it. Because it's funny, the guy that has been involved in the majority of these trade rumors has been Jordan Poole. But right. According to Anthony Slater, our 95.7 The Game Warriors insider, they're, quote, not actively shopping Jordan Poole. So that doesn't mean they're not taking calls. You know, if your boy Schlenk in Washington says, hey, we're interested in Jordan Poole, you willing to talk? I'm sure the Warriors would be. But they're not making calls trying to get him out. And I'm assuming that's the same for Clay. So at this point, the Warriors are standing pat before the draft. I'm sure they like their spot at number 19. Jonathan Kuminga could maybe not be involved with trying to move up in the draft. But it feels like they're waiting for shoppers to come to them. And that's where I wonder how much flexibility and how much willingness they will have. Because, I don't know, would you consider the Warriors bargaining from a position of strength this offseason?
That's a great question. And the whole idea of they're taking calls but they're not making calls, or they're making calls but they're not taking calls, I always find that interesting. Really? Warriors aren't making any calls right now. I would just say, really? I mean, I don't know. They have to make
they're making calls around the draft.
You would think so. So, I believe the Warriors are open for business. I believe they're going to be very careful. But the reason I'm bringing this particular thing up is because our boss, Matt Nahagian, for the last 2-3 weeks, ever since Lacob said we're going to win, he said something big's coming this offseason. I said, really? He goes, yeah, I think so. You don't say that unless you're going to do anything possible. So I don't know. I do know it's fascinating, and I do know that there's a fan base that seems like, it's got a lot of different great ideas. Keep the big three together. Start moving off the big three, first with Draymond. Maybe move off Clay right now if you can. Get younger. No. Get more experience in here. Yes. They can go in any different direction.
Well, the other question then is, if they are taking or making calls, who's the one on the phone?
I don't think it's Bob Myers. I really don't.
It's got to be Dunleavy.
It's got to be Mike Dunleavy, you would think.